Good evening, Tallahassee, and happy Good Friday. It was a really rainy start to this morning as well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm student meteorologist Sydney Welch.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse. I forgot to introduce ourselves. Whoops.
Yeah, it was a rainy start to this morning. I remember sitting in my car waiting for a break in the rain in order to run into campus to miss that. But there was some spotty showers coming overhead. Now, still cloudy sky, but things will be clearing out into the night.
Yeah, definitely. It'll clear out into tomorrow and onto their Easter weekend, which we'll have the forecast for you for your Easter weekend if you go out going hunting eggs or doing your daily activities. It'll be a really nice weekend just to go out if you do not celebrate Easter as well.
Yeah, and we do have an events forecast coming up for you guys and a recap on that rain we were seeing and where the rain is headed off to now. So we'll be covering all that in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, do you do anything for Easter? Do you do any traditions?
No, but I will be going. I'll be getting together with some friends and be doing a little Easter celebration. But I don't really have many traditions. What about you?
Well, usually we go to my grandparents' house for Easter, but my mom is coming up to visit me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she's going to come with me. We're going to go to church and wear our Easter dresses and have Easter dinner with me since I'm not going to be with my family. So she just
I think that my friends have adopted me as family, and we're all going to have a family dinner together. But as for now, we are going to take it over to the overview.
Oh yeah, with me, yeah. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what is to come with the show. As we said, that cold front did come through our area, bringing a lot of showers into the morning time. So if you did have your morning and sort of early evening or afternoon classes, you did see that rainfall, so you had your umbrella. But as we got into the rest of the day, if we got into like around 1, the rain did clear up. It was mostly we're just seeing those cloud cover just sticking around, which is going to be really nice for the weekend ahead. As for these winds, really, we can see the winds are coming out from the north, which is evident of that cold front moving through, that low pressure system moving out, and that high pressure system moving in. The winds did die down at 9 miles per hour in Tallahassee, so it's a pretty nice day outside as we get on to our weekend. But for tonight, it's going to be really nice. 50 degrees in Tallahassee, 53 in St. Mark's, as we did have that cool down from that cold front that did come through our area. So it's going to be a really nice weekend to go out. And later in the show, we're going to talk about those clouds. We'll be clearing out by tomorrow. So Saturday, go out, go to the res, prepare for Easter as well. It'll be a warm and sunny Easter, so perfect day to go egg hunting or go to church if you do go on Sunday. And also, we might have some midweek rain chances later on to Wednesday and Thursday, so we might see another cold front move through our area. So please stay tuned for the show. We will see those rain chances will increase. But for now, I'm going to send it over to the lab with dealing with our trivia question.
So I'm here with your forecast. We're going to do a local instead of the
lab.
You
want to send it back to
of
me?
course. So here is what we're seeing today, a high of 72 and a low of 60. So we are slightly below average on that high temperature. But currently we're seeing 68 degrees. It is extremely comfortable outside. And we are going to be seeing the cloud cover sticking around, but as we go into the overnight hours, that cloud cover will be diminishing, and it will be a beautiful night as we go into our night if you are going to be going out.
Oh, thank you. We actually have your trivia answer, and the question for this week is, what is the average high for the month of Tallahassee in April? And your 4 options are 77, 79, 80, 83. So we post this on Twitter every Thursday, and we have your answer here on the Friday show. So be sure you tune in to figure out the answer for that. And the answer for this week's question is 80 degrees. So you should expect temperatures in the 80-degree range as your average for the month of April. As we start getting into April, on Saturday is or Sunday is the first day of April. So, but I'm going to send it out back to the wall with Sydney.
So I am back here with your radar. After Dylan just gave that little brief lab in the middle of my local, but we are seeing the rain making its way out of the area. So take a look. This rainfall is right now over, basically over Jacksonville, and that's where the front is as well. So the rain and the front are headed, stalled out on Florida, maybe headed slightly more south, but basically going to lose its strength right where it is right now. And high pressure is going to build in behind us. And we notice these winds coming in from the northwest, bringing the dry air and the cooler air. So that high pressure is going to be dominant. We'll be seeing less clouds. We'll be seeing not much really in the way of weather. We'll be able to walk outside and see a beautiful day, and that will persist into the next few days. As for tonight, 50-degree temperatures, and as I said, those clouds will be diminishing, so bring your sweater because it's going to be a cooler night after those clouds go out of the way and that heat is released into the atmosphere. So it will be a comfortable night and some light winds at 5 miles an hour for tonight. As for tomorrow, clear and beautiful day. That sunlight will be coming down on us. It's a great day to get outside and get that vitamin D, and warm and sunny. So light winds to accompany those. It's going to be a perfect golf day. I know a lot of the FSU weather squad is going to be going golfing, so it is going to be a perfect day for some golf. Now, into the 7-day forecast, we'll notice Saturday, 78 and that 50-degree low temperature, and into Sunday, a high of 81. So this is what your Easter Sunday is going to be looking like if you are going to be going on an Easter egg hunt or anything of that nature. 81 degrees and that low in the morning time of 48. Going through the rest of the week, though, some clouds build on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and 40% chance of rain is going to be on Wednesday, so potential for rain midweek. Those highs sticking in the 80s and up to 80s, and the lows in the low 60s. So, Michael, what's going on in the Southeast?
Well, the Southeast is also going to have a gorgeous weekend like like Tallahassee. Now, across the Southeast, you can see that it is much cooler across the interior portions of the Southeast, with 68 in Montgomery, 63 up in Atlanta, and 68 in Tallahassee. But ahead of the front, you're still pretty warm, 78 in Orlando, 77 in Tampa, and 79 in Miami. But it is going to be a very nice weekend across the Southeast. The dew points, again, they're higher ahead of the front. The moisture is still there. It hasn't been cleared out in the Florida Peninsula. But behind it, you're in the 40s and 50s as your dew points, much lower than it has been yesterday and the day before. The winds also, you can see where that front is, the converging winds, northerly winds behind it, southerly winds ahead it. So it's right around the Orlando-Tampa region, and not very strong winds, but behind it, well behind the front, you can see in Jackson, Montgomery, and Atlanta, they're in the teens as their wind speeds, and those are sustained winds. So it is kind of breezy out there up towards the central Alabama, northern Georgia region. Now, you saw in the Futurecast how that front, it dives down into Miami and it basically fizzles out. But then watch towards Memphis. You see another front start to make its way through Memphis. And this is going to give snow across the northern portion of the country, in the Midwest and in the Northeast. So it's spring, but they're still going to get some snow up there. However, in the Southeast, high pressure is so strong that this front is not going to really make any progress in the Southeast, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. That's the story this weekend. Absolutely gorgeous Easter weekend. Now, you can see the rain for the next few days. There's going to be some rain in the Tennessee Valley due to that front. Actually, a lot of the stuff towards Chicago, it's going to be mainly snow, not liquid rain. It's going to be mainly frozen precip. Now, down towards Miami, they will get some rain due to that first front that moved through Tallahassee earlier this morning. But again, that front is going to fizzle out as we head into tomorrow and into Sunday. Tonight's forecast across the Southeast, it's going to be cool across the northern tier of the Southeast because of those clearing skies. 44 in Jackson, 44 in Montgomery, 42 in Atlanta. Tallahassee is going to be a little bit warmer because the clouds, as you can see, are still lingering outside. It's going to take a while for those clouds to begin to break and the skies to clear. Because of that, we're only going to get down to 50 degrees tonight. Ahead of the front, you're going to be in the 60s, 63 in Orlando, 64 in Tampa, and 68 in Miami. And it's going to remain warm as we head into tomorrow down there. But you don't see much of a temperature gradient. That tells you that front has basically died out. 76 in Orlando, 79 in Tampa as your highs. Up towards Atlanta, they're going to be the cool spot at 69. Tallahassee might be able to crack 80. But the summary for the Southeast this weekend, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous across the entire Southeast. Perfect for your Easter plans, for Easter egg hunts, for watching golf, and for playing golf, as what we're all going to be doing tomorrow out at the golf course. But now let's send it back to the desk where Matt and Dylan have a desk about moss.
Thank you very much, Michael. Dylan, we've been talking about this for a year now, doing this desk, and the moss desk is now upon us.
Yeah, I heard about a fun fact about a year ago about which side of the tree moss grows on, and I didn't really think that there was any truth to that. And we did some research, and we found out there actually is some truth to which side of the tree moss grows on.
Yeah, we did some research before the show. Even last year, you found out some facts. And what do we have here about moss growing on different sides of the trees?
Well, moss in the northern hemisphere tends to grow on the northern side of trees. Not mostly, not all the time. You're not going to always find moss on the northern side of a tree, but you're generally. That's because of the tilt of the earth, and the sun's hitting the south side of the tree, so moss likes to grow in those moist, shady areas.
Yeah, and we've got slightly different for the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, for the southern hemisphere, it's the opposite. You got moss growing on the southern side of the tree because on the northern side of the tree, they're getting the sunlight from the tilt of the earth for there.
Yeah, so we're seeing small changes in the biological ecosystem because of the way the entire planet is tilted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you go out this weekend and try to look at where the moss is growing, it's a beautiful weekend out there. You might see some moss on the northern side of the tree for that. So it's something cool to learn about.
Yeah, interesting. And then this applies to different surfaces other than just trees?
Yeah, you can find it on rocks. I mean, I knew as a kid I'd go outside, look at national parks, and go to national parks and stuff, and I would see moss on like the north side of a rock.
Yeah, so interesting tidbits of information similar to how flowers follow the sun. I guess moss also follows the sun as the earth is tilted.
Yeah, I mean, this is some small things you might not really notice at first glance, but if you kind of know what to look for, you might actually see the moss tends to grow on the north side. So maybe bring a compass or pay attention to where the sun is to figure out where that moss is.
And as we go into the heart of spring, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that vegetation start to grow. Flowers, including our friendly neighborhood moss.
Yeah, definitely. As Michael was showing us in the southeast, they're a little bit more moist than they were, so good moss conditions.
Yeah, moss conditions are ripe, as well as many other conditions for this Easter weekend. And in fact, Michael has a look at our national forecast for Easter.
Yeah, thank you guys for making me interested in, out of all things, moss. Anyway, let's go to the national picture, and you can see it was actually a perfect moss growing day down towards Tallahassee. It was very cloudy and dreary at 68 degrees. Now, the skies have cleared across the southern portion of the U.S., 62 in Memphis, 63 in Atlanta. It's actually much cooler than they were yesterday because of that front moving through. Similar story up towards Washington, D.C. and Boston, where they're in the 50s right now. Up towards Minneapolis, though, it is pretty chilly at 38 degrees. Now, the temperatures are lower because of that front moving through the entire eastern seaboard yesterday. A 12-degree drop in Atlanta, a 20-degree drop from this time yesterday in Washington, D.C. However, on the other side of the nation, we're having high pressure building in over there, and southerly winds are allowing the temperature to warm up in Denver, a 20-degree rise in Denver compared to this time yesterday, and 16-degree rise in Billings. A dew point is pretty low across the entire nation. You saw some 60s down towards the southeast yesterday. That's because they were ahead of the cold front, and those southerly winds brought in a lot of moisture from the Gulf. Today's a different story, though. We're having northerly winds in the same region. So because of that, your dew points are much lower in Memphis, Atlanta, even in Tallahassee. About 10 to 15 degrees lower in terms of your dew points this time today than yesterday. Again, the dew points are lower, 13 drop in Memphis, 15-degree drop in Atlanta, 7-degree drop in Tallahassee. So across the entire southeast, dew points are lower because of that front moving through. You can see the remnants of that front down towards Cedar Key and Gainesville and Ocala. It is beginning to fizzle out really. Up towards the northeast, they're basically getting some light shower, drizzle activity, and in the higher elevation, they're getting snow. But look towards the west, you can see up towards the high plains, that's the next storm system that's going to give some snow off towards the Midwest and Northeast in April. So, yeah, it's still snowing up there in the north. They're probably hoping for some real type of spring eventually. Now, tonight's forecast, it's going to be cold up towards the high plains where they will experience some of that snow. 28 in Minneapolis, 14 in Billings. And off towards the southeast, it's going to be much cooler because of that cold front moving through and clear skies. So 44 in Memphis, 42 in Atlanta, 32 in Detroit. And for tomorrow, perfect conditions actually across the southeast. A perfect springtime day for Easter weekend. 69 in Atlanta, 79 in Tallahassee. And Texas is going to be the warm spot this weekend with 82 both in Dallas and San Antonio. But for now, let's send it off to Dylan with a look at our second local forecast.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. And right now outside, it's feeling pretty comfortable out. We're in the mid-70s, even getting down into the 60s. It's cooling off just a bit as we get into the nighttime. So things are going to feel very cool and nice. Might need a light jacket as we get into tonight. But if you're outside right now, pretty comfortable temperatures. And the other thing that's comfortable is this cloud cover. There's no more rain on that radar. We saw a few spritz of showers earlier today. But they have moved out and now it's just cloudy, so things are not looking too bad for us. You're not going to see any more showers going into tonight. Things are going to be nice for that. But as we move on to the futurecast, you can see that front that we've all been talking about moves out of the our area and out of the southeast. And you see this next kind of front trying to make its way down into the southeast, and it's going to fizzle out by it comes here. And then behind that is our third front that we want to talk about. That's what's going to bring some rain chances into next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when you're really going to see the rain. For tonight, though, pretty cool around the region. You're going to get back into the 50s. We're feeling more those nightly cools. We're going to have clear skies, so it's going to allow us to cool off a little bit more. And when the effects of the front come in, you're really going to feel those temperature differences. So tonight, feeling nice and cool. Not getting too cold, though, but you might need a jacket if you're out late. Enjoying the weekend. It's Easter weekend, so it's a beautiful weekend to go out. And for tomorrow, you're going to wake up to 51 degrees. So you might need a jacket in the morning. By 11 o'clock, you're going to wake up, it's going to be 63 degrees. But you see that cloud cover start to dissipate as the day goes on. The front moving out of our area. Cloud cover is going to go away. It's going to feel great outside. And by 3 p.m., it's going to be warm. And if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, I'll have the baseball forecast in a little bit. But for tomorrow, throughout the region, it's going to warm up to about 80 degrees. Might crack that 80-degree range here. That's our average, our trivia question for the month of April. Not quite yet April tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of March, March 31st. And if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, you're going to have the baseball game. 76 degrees is a great temperature for baseball. Not too warm, not too cool, but you do have some cloud cover. Might need some sunscreens. I sat out there last week and I got burnt, so make sure you cover up with your sunscreen. Don't want to be burnt and look like a lobster on Sunday for Easter. But games set at 1 p.m. Not a lot of wind, so the wind's not going to be a factor in the ball. Sydney had our forecast for today's game, so if you guys are out there or watching this after, you might have seen her do that forecast. And for the week ahead, tomorrow and Sunday, just clear skies just in time for Easter, getting back into the 80s past that front. And you see cloud cover start to pick up ahead of that next front that's coming Wednesday. So just be aware that that front is, but our lows getting back down into the 40s, feeling nice and comfortable for the next week. But right now, I'm actually going to send it over to the desk with Shane and Matt to talk about their experience with the Southeast Vortex, right?
Thank you very much, Dylan. That's right. We are changing our tune from Moss to something way more exciting. We're joined here by FSU alumni Shane Pendleton. Thanks for being on the show today to talk about your experience out in the field storm chasing.
That's right. I'm happy to be here. And what we did is not storm chasing per se. The project is called Vortex Southeast, which means that myself and a handful of other students took a van out from the UAH campus about 30 minutes west of Huntsville to Cortland and launched weather balloons like I spoke about in the lab last night. We should get a picture of the van up here very soon. It's called MIPS, which is one of the vans that we take out in the field. It's got all sorts of sensors and equipment inside it. And two things I promised yesterday to speak about are the record-setting hail that we saw out there. This is a screen cap from the RadarScope app. And look at that really high reflectivity. That's the pink and magenta over harvest. That indicates very big objects in the atmosphere. And we had a record-setting hailstone about 40 minutes south of Huntsville. It was, can you guess how big it was?
I don't know, maybe over baseball size, a couple inches?
It was. This one was bigger than grapefruit size.
Wow.
It came in at 5 1/4 inches, and that's awaiting review by the state climatologist. But if it is confirmed, it will be the largest hailstone in Alabama's history.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, it is. And in addition to all that hail, we also saw some remarkable tornadoes out there. This is another RadarScope image, and this tornado happened on the state line of Alabama and Tennessee. That's to the north, across that horizontal line. And if you looked at the large red and orange mass at the top of the screen, in the lower left side, you see almost what looks like a U or a donut hanging off there. That is what we refer to as a hook echo. And in this case, the rotation is so powerful that it's not just hooking, it's actually circling back to where it started and creating this almost circular donut shape. This is a tornado that moved eastward along the state line for about 30 minutes to the better part of an hour. Moved south of Ardmore, Alabama and Ardmore, Tennessee, right there on the state line, and caused a damage path about 3 miles long.
Wow, that's an incredible facts and information that you're sharing. You were on the front lines really seeing what is going on out there. Thank you very much, Shane. And right now we're sending it back to Sarah to talk about what's going on now. No tornadoes or anything, right?
No tornadoes. We're actually going to be seeing some really nice weather as that cold front did move through our area. As you can, there's that cold front sitting right here in Gainesville, closer to my hometown in Crystal River, sitting right here. As we're seeing that cold temperature is 68 in Tallahassee and 65 in Gainesville. As you see that cooler temperatures coming into the northern part of Florida, but the south part of Florida really isn't really seeing a break from those cooler temperatures. We're seeing 79 in Fort Myers, 79 in Miami, so they're awaiting that cold front to come through our area, which you can see right now. Here's that cold front coming through. We saw that cloud cover and those rain chances. It's going to clear up by tomorrow, but for Central Florida, they're still going to be seeing those rain chances, so make sure as you go out through your day, make sure you drive careful on those wet conditions, and make sure you have an umbrella as well. And it will move through our area, bringing in these cooler temperatures. We dropped at 6 degrees. Gainesville dropped 18 degrees as that cold front did move through their area. South Florida is still not really seeing much of a temperature change as they're still waiting for that cold front to move through into their area. But these dew points, pretty muggy out, as we see a lot of those rain showers are bringing in some of that moisture from that cold front. And as we get into the rest of the week, these dew points will lower. 68 right now in Tampa, 62 in Gainesville. And as I said, I like to describe the low pressure system that moves in. When that low pressure system moves in, we have a high pressure system moving in because they're BFFs. They have to follow each other everywhere. So these dew points will decrease. And as for Tallahassee area, the cloud cover will move out of our area, so it should be a really nice Easter weekend for the rest of the week to go out. If you don't celebrate Easter, to go to the res, go to the beach, it'll be a really nice weekend. And for tonight, it's going to be pretty cool. We're seeing a little bit of those cooler temperatures, 50 in Tallahassee, 64 in Tampa, closer to my hometown, and 68 in Miami. And for tomorrow, really nice outside, perfect weekend for Easter. 79 in Tallahassee, 79 as well in Tampa, and 81 in Miami, so still seeing those warmer temperatures, but pretty nice temperatures. So please go out, enjoy your Easter weekend. But for now, I'm going to send over to Matt with our last local.
Thank you very much for that look around Florida here for our forecast here in Florida. It's looking like a nice Easter day across the Sunshine State, but unfortunately our graphics, there we go, slightly new to the system here, but not new to this forecast. The clouds are starting to move out, and we can even see that here within the time lapse. Cloudy this morning, some rain showers this morning, but that is a thing of the past right now. Still a few clouds outside the FSU weather studios, but those are going to be moving out over time today. But currently 68 degrees, mostly cloudy, but no rain around. Winds out of the north-northwest at 7 miles per hour, keeping it still pretty cool outside. So a light jacket will be needed as we go into the evening hours here across Florida State if you have any evening plans. Our temperatures right now across the entire tri-state area, 68 here in Tallahassee, 69 in Apalachicola, 60s, upper 60s are the numbers to be, including 70 in Bainbridge. So the tri-state looking rather calm and tranquil right now. The dew point starting to decrease as the front moves through, making it a lot drier outside. We will be seeing that drying trend through the evening tonight. And speaking of tonight forecast, we're dipping into the 50s, and we're going to be seeing the 40s back around here closer to the coastline. Our Forgotten Coast and the Nature Coast seeing the upper 50s closer to the water. A gorgeous, gorgeous evening tonight in terms of temperature, even tomorrow as we move into the forecast region. Let's look at our futurecast to time this out. 12:30 a.m. tonight is when we're ballparking that we're going to start to see the peaks of stars moving in, and the moon and the stars will be out if you are stargazing. If you're staying up late, and we're talking extremely late, like 2 o'clock in the morning, that's when the clouds will start to break. And then early morning tomorrow, they will move on through. And about the 9:45 hour, as you're waking up on your Saturday morning to celebrate Easter weekend, it will be a very nice one, and the sun will be making its presence known here across the tri-state region. As we move into the afternoon, 6:15 p.m., nothing has changed. It will be a gorgeous day with temperatures topping out into the upper 70s. Now, tomorrow's forecast, we talked about it, upper 70s here in Tallahassee, maybe peaking into the 80s, but even regardless, the winds will be nice. The temperature, or the dew point, will be down, so it will be dry outside, feeling great. Mid-70s farther north, and then even closer to the coast as we're seeing a little bit cooler down in Appalachia, 75 degrees. Now, our 7-day forecast, we talked about it before. We will cycle through it one last time for you this weekend as we move into Easter weekend. 78 tomorrow, 50 degrees overnight tonight. We could see the 40s as we go into Easter Sunday, but look at this, sunshine on Easter weekend. Next week we could see the peak of clouds come back into our region. Even mid-80s, I'm not sure if I like that very much, but a gorgeous Easter weekend it will be. Now we'll send it back to the desk to close out the show.
Thanks, Matt. So, do you have any plans for Easter weekend?
Well, we know what we're going to be doing on Saturday, of course, with the golf, obviously. You watching golf, we're playing golf. But again, the forecast is absolutely perfect for weekend. You couldn't ask for a better forecast for your Easter Sunday or your pre-Easter.
I know that I'm no expert, but tomorrow is the perfect golf day.
I think so. With like those low dew points, just be hydrated. That's the only suggestion I have for tomorrow's day. If anyone else is actually heading out to the golf course like we are, maybe you'll see us out of the golf course. Who knows?
Yeah, don't forget to stay hydrated and put some sunscreen on because it will be sunny.
Yep. UV index is getting higher with that higher sun angle. So it's going to be a great weekend, honestly. And it's going to get warmer as we head into next week. And it is going to see, as you can see, by that 7-day.
So the middle days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the clouds will build back in a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything to ruin your day. And Wednesday, 40% chance of rain. So that's the most clouds we'll be seeing, but even 40% chance of rain, that isn't a washout. So
yeah. Wednesday, that rain chance does increase due to the next front.
If you want to track that weather with us, follow us on social media. Our handle on every form of social media is at FSU Weather. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
And we will be posting social media updates for FSU baseball. Also on the Instagram at FSU Weather. Don't forget, because we do forecast for FSU baseball now. And there's the last day of our 7-day forecast. Perfect weekend. That's a summary of our entire show, basically.
Yeah, so for now, I'm student meteorologist Sydney Welch.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Onden.
Have a great night and an awesome weekend.